In the past few months, Emeet actually sent a bunch of creators this little thingy. This is Emeet S800, a webcam that is targeted towards content creators and streamers. And yeah, I was sent one too. But unlike many smaller content creators who just don't want to upset brands, I'm not going to be like that. I will give you exactly what I think about this little piece of device and tell you whether it's actually worth to buy right now or not. I forgot to put on headphones. This actually helps with the sound isolation and helps me think better. And the answer whether this thing is actually good or not is this. This is actually a great piece of technology, but it's still a webcam. And the content creators usually require much more than just a webcam. And I will ask you too, would you want me to replace this, what I'm recording this right now, with this? I highly doubt that. But if you're thinking about the B cam, like additional camera, well, this thing is actually pretty great. But let me get into the details and explain why do you think like that. Well, Emeet S800 is actually a regular webcam. It's just a little bit large because it requires quite a lot of heat dissipation. It's getting very hot while it's working. All this because it has a 1/2-inch Sony sensor. For most of you, it will not mean absolutely anything because yeah, it's merely a marketing gimmick, but it has actually some technical upsides and advantages as well. 1/2-inch sensor in this case means that the sensor of this webcam is actually a little bit larger than your average webcam sensors. That means that you're gonna get a better light detection. They mean that it will work a little bit better in the darker environments, and you're gonna have a better depth of field, which is basically a little bit better bokeh. Well, but basically the thing that you're seeing right now around me, but this bokeh is actually much more exaggerated than anything that this thing can do. Well, of course, because the glass that I'm using on this camera is actually larger and wider than this entire webcam. But yeah, that's not the point. And this thing can actually record in full 4K at 30 FPS or at 1080p at 60 FPS. And it can also record in 4K HDR. I mean, that's gonna have a higher dynamic range. It also has noise isolating microphones. And yeah, technically, tech-wise, it does not have a lot of other things, except for maybe a clamp, because yeah, it can clamp like this on a monitor. It has an ability to actually move up and down, move side to side if you want to have on some weird angles. And you actually have a 1/4-inch thread if you want to mount it on the tripod. By the way, the tripod is not coming with the webcam, at least not in a basic configuration, but there is actually a configuration that is coming with a tripod. But how does it work? Of course, I'm going to show you some footage how it records, but overall, as you can see, it's actually pretty sharp. It's a very sharp image, but it's also very flat. No matter what you do, you cannot have a very large sensors on a webcam, meaning that you cannot get an actual shallow depth of field. Everything will be in focus from a certain distance, and for certain places, it does not look that great. This is actually a thing that I'm looking in the cameras, and this camera is not giving you that. And even though image is actually pretty sharp, because it actually has an 8-megapixel sensor, I don't think that whatever you're seeing right now is a true 4K. It should be upscaling it a little bit because yeah, the sensor size is actually nowhere near to give you a full 4K image. But no matter what, it actually looks pretty sharp for a webcam. But that's basically it. If you are a serious content creator, yeah, the image like that may be okay from the very beginning of your journey, but at that stage, your phone will be probably better bad. But if you want this as a B cam or additional webcam in addition to your main camera, then it's absolutely great and okay. If you want this webcam for a tabletop shots, maybe if you are doing unboxing and things like that, it absolutely works. If you want this webcam only as a small camera in this corner of your screen, it absolutely works. But other than that, if you're a serious content creator, this thing is nowhere near powerful enough to satisfy any of your needs. At least not powerful enough to take this over your phone. No matter what, this is still a webcam. And the webcams are great for the basic tasks like video calls, which this thing is great for, and as an additional or a corner camera, which this thing is also great for as well. This thing might be on a top level of any webcams, but it is still a webcam, and the content creators require usually much more than that. I started my content creation journey with a webcam just because I didn't have anything better. But in today's day and age, usually just paying $100 for this one. By the way, you can get this for $100, but its base price is $150. This thing is just not a great thing for a basic main camera. Again, for an additional camera, it is 100% worth it. If you're streaming or content creating and want to start with a multicam setup, this is a perfect thing to start with because this thing is very cheap for what it does. For the price, this thing is absolutely amazing for an additional camera. Well, yes, it has a software where you can set up some additional settings, but you can do the exact same things without the software within OBS if you are actually a content creator, which this thing is targeted towards. You probably know how to use use that as well. The software itself is not perfect, it's not even allowing you to record in that software, so you probably most likely will still use OBS, then Emeet link. And yeah, I guess this is all that I wanted to say. Yeah, oh yeah, it has a privacy screen as well, which is pretty good. All in all, if this thing was not targeted towards the content creators and streamers, at least not as a main cam, then yeah, I would 100% recommend this. But for the marketing campaign that this thing is going for, yeah, it's just not. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be honest here, and yeah, I don't think that I need to be sorry for being honest, but yeah, I still am. And if you're interested in streaming webcams, you're probably interested in gaming audio as well, so you can watch my review of amazing Turtle Beach Atlas Air open air headphones. Or if you like something weird like head trackers in gaming, you can watch my review of Trek IR right here as well. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe right here as well. This will be for today, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care.